Hi everyone, it's Nishti here, specialist dietitian for children and parents, and let's talk about good and bad foods, or how society wants us to label things, because this duality of good and bad is really something we have subscribed to from society. We have just subscribed to it unconsciously. And if I ask you now to subscribe to my channel, you might just go, actually I don't feel like it because she's wearing a Pepsi shirt. And what kind of dietitian is she? She's a bad dietitian. You see, it all starts in our own mind. And who suffers because of all the judgments? Ourselves, no one else. We judge ourselves and we judge other people, and who suffers? We do, not other people. We. This duality of good and bad has been handed down to us from society. Everything is good and bad. You eat a banana is good. You eat a donut is bad. You go for a walk in the rain and you come back drenched, that's bad. But you walk in the sunshine and you come back nice and tanned, oh, that's good. Oh, the weather it's raining, it's bad. It's sunny, it's good. Oh my God, all day long, things are either good and bad. Are you not tired? I don't know. I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of this good and bad. Like a 3-year-old, the way a 3-year-old would look at the world. We as adults should know better. It's a vast universe. It's unlimited. It's huge, humongous. And we think it's as simple as good and bad. That's how our mind likes to have it. Our mind is very primitive and it just wants things as either good and bad. And then it wants to judge, and then it wants to be in pain and suffering, and that's just how life goes. But there's so much more than good and bad. Now, food is neutral. We give the label of good and bad. We provide food with that label. And we provide that label to the food because of our belief systems and because of society. So for example, you are eating a donut and you label it as bad. I've had a bad day. Why? Because I ate a donut. The donut has not said that to you. The donut is just a donut, but we have subscribed these stories onto the donut because of society, the way we've been raised, and your belief systems. You believe a donut is bad, and you then believe, you make all these other stories. My whole day is bad because now I'm going to gain weight, and that's bad. All these stories were made by who? Your mind. And your thoughts have probably thought that for you. You probably didn't even know you thought that. But if you think about it, you probably think, actually, my mind is just doing all my thinking for me. Maybe it's time for me to do my thinking. Because the donut is just there. It's just neutral. It's not talking to us. We give it a whole storyline. We cannot move away from the fact that a banana is healthier than a donut. That's not a belief system. That's a fact. Simple. It is what it is. A banana is healthier than a donut. But it's not good or bad or worse or this or that. No. And all the stories you make about whether you'd had a banana or a donut is all in your mind. Is all in your head. I've had a great day because I ate a banana and salad. I had a bad day because I ate a donut and a biscuit. Do you see? It all is in the mind, and it comes from this very simple way that we have been taught to think good and bad. And then we are in so much pain when we've had a bad day. We experience immense mental pain, not physical pain, mental pain. We experience so much mental pain because we've just labeled our day as bad, and then it's a downward spiral from there. So there are lots of articles out there that talk about how to stop labeling food as good and bad, and parenting as well. A lot of parents And they probably do it unconsciously, because I see it all day long with my clients. They speak to their children as, you know, when they teach about foods, these are good and this is bad. And, you know, it's not the parent fault. It's no one's fault, really. It's just how we've been raised. But it's time to really deconstruct that and start to think bigger. Start to think more unlimited. Because when you think of good and bad, you're living in fear. And as the spiritual teacher Marianne Williamson says, we are either in love or we are in fear. When we label anything as bad, and then we're in that downward spiral, we are in fear and lack. And we act out of that. Our whole energy state is changed from love to fear. Whereas if we are acting out of love, we accept things for what they are. We don't give it all these judgment and all these stories and project all these things onto a situation. We just accept it, and then we know, yes, I have just had a donut, and my mind wants to make out all these stories, but you know what? Now it's a new moment and I start fresh. Do you see? Totally different mindset. You haven't labeled anything as good and bad, but what you know is that every moment is a new moment. When you know that you have the power to change your life every new moment, you don't buy into good and bad. No, you don't buy into this very simplistic 3-year-old way of thinking. No, life is unlimited, you are unlimited, you have all the power. You do not have to make a story out of everything you eat and don't eat. You don't have to make a story out of it. Your mind doesn't have to make a story out of it. It is just what it is. But as I said, we cannot deny that whole grains and fruit and vegetables and fish and meat and all these things are healthier for us than Burger King, McDonald's, donuts. That's a fact. It's not my belief. Forget about my belief. It's a fact. And when a fact is a fact, we don't have to make any stories out of it in our mind. So it's all about what stories you make up in your mind that you need to look at. Because a fact is a fact, but the storyline is all about your beliefs about that food. And that's where you need to go. Where does this belief come from? From TikTok that told me that donuts are bad for me. Or from just generally society. It's so difficult, isn't it, nowadays, to just have food and not and have, people always comment. Like, can't we just not comment on what we eat and what other people eat and just eat, The amount of times I hear people say, oh, you eat so good. Oh, do you ever eat bad? And I'm like, good, bad, I don't subscribe to that. I just follow the fact and the truth is the truth. The truth is a healthier diet is better for me. But if I have a biscuit, I do not buy into the concept that it is bad and I'm going to gain weight and then fall into that mental spiral, downward spiral. No. Life is too short for that. Life is too short for that. So what do you do if you have an eating disorder or if you're trying to lose weight? Let's look at both ends of the spectrum. If you have an eating disorder, you most probably label things as good and bad all day long. And you think that because you've had a donut, that now it is bad day. And you are going to beat yourself up. Think about, and you're going to beat yourself up because now you think you're going to get really, really fat. Where does that belief come from? Depending on where you are with your eating disorder, you most probably know, if you're watching this, I would hope that you know that that's not the truth. And actually most people I meet with an eating disorder know that it is not the truth. But then there are those who are very unwell, who don't even know the difference between the truth and the non-truth, that they are actually not big. That's a whole nother clientele. The ones that have recovered and who are in recovery and who know that they are not big, but their mind tell them that they're big, have bought into the belief. It's not a fact. The belief that they're big, and the belief that the donut will make them fat. And that the donut is bad. That's a belief. It's not a fact. Do you see what I'm saying? So try and really look at your beliefs around the foods that you've labeled as good and bad, and where do they come from. Deconstruct it. I can help you. If you comment below, I can help you with that. And if you're trying to lose weight and you've had a day of several high sugar snacks, you have now labeled your day as bad. But you know what you need to do instead? Instead of labeling as bad, you know that tomorrow is a new day and we start off fresh. But we get so powerless. We feel such powerlessness that we think that it's over. Because now we've had a bad moment, a bad day, and then we think it's a bad life. But it's not like that. Our mind wants us to label it as a bad day, life. But you know what? It is just what it is. It was what it was. And now we move on to the next moment. So I hope that was helpful. Really, I hope that was helpful, because it's that duality that you need to stop doing, which is difficult, and just go, it is what it is, and this is a fact. Is it a fact or is it a belief system? If it's a belief system, it's not a fact. It's a fact that the sun will rise tomorrow morning. It's a fact that it will rain at times, and it will snow, and it will be sunshine. That's a fact. It's not good or bad weather. It just is a fact. But we always say, oh, good weather is coming this weekend. Bad weather is coming. You know, we hear it every day, all day long. Pay attention to how often you hear this concept of good and bad, and how it relates to everything, not just food. Okay, I think I'll stop here. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, please do raise them so I can answer them in a separate video, or maybe even by commenting on your comment underneath this video. Have a lovely day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.